Thank you for showing up this morning and being here with us. I looked up community again this morning and I saw these wonderful words. The only thing that was left out of community in the description was love. And that's what we like to say that we do when we get together here. Because that's what the world needs, always, and it's always there. Anyway, good morning. I'm Rev Kim Haley. I will be your host this morning, and I would like to, first of all, I have an announcement right now. Somebody must have come in and they left the lights on in the PLC building, and it's okay if you have the key and you come in, but please turn the lights off when you leave. That would be really appreciated. And the other thing is, we have a lot of, do we have any new people here? Should I announce anything else? Do we have any new people here? Again, welcome. Any newcomers for the first time? We'd like to know your names because we like to know who you are and welcome you. Anybody new on Zoom? No. No? Hi, Zoomers. Hi, my Zoom people. I can't see you, but good morning. Excuse me. So our themes, we have some more people coming in, that's great. Good morning. Welcome. Okay. I was just asking if there's any newcomers who's never been here for the first time. But if that's it, that's great. We've got people we know. Our PLC family. So the year's themes for 2024 and for April, not for the year, but this is 2024, is choice, will, and power. And we're going to hear some wonderful speakers who will illuminate us on these topics, or something else to it. Our musician for today is John LaLonde. Hi, John.
Hello.
And you're going to do a meditation for us. So
yes.
Playing for meditation. So we'll have a meditation, he'll play for us, and then we'll go into a silent meditation for a little while. And so please relax. Let go of your drive here and all your getting ready, and just relax. And then we'll take the meditation.
All right. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Like Kim said, I'm going to play a little bit. The idea is to support meditation, what I'm going to be doing, and then I'll go quiet, and we'll have some quiet time.
As we take some deep breaths, fill our lungs up and let it go. We practice letting go and allowing the deeper state of our being to arise within us. And in that we find peace. We find comfort. We find community. You're going to take another deep breath and open your eyes when you're ready. Thank you, John. That was lovely. And I want to thank Sandy for playing the piano this morning, the electric piano. That was very nice. Yes, we have many talented people around here. And I also wanted to thank Judy for putting her artwork up and having it in the room. It brings another dimension into everyone's life. And we're very grateful for that. Thank you, Judy. I also wanted to talk about just quickly how wonderful the flute circle was last night. We had about 9 people. It was just great. John's doing such a terrific job. It's so wonderful and fun. And it's a unique thing in this community. And also the drum circle was amazing too. People turned out during that weather last night that was really dramatic, and I like that weather, but it's not always fun to drive in. And people showed up. So we had a lot of people. We had like 16 or 17 people last night and 9 in our flute circle. And we had a lot of fun. It was just a lot of fun to get together and know that that's there for everybody. And I was even singing. Cheyenne sang and played the guitar for us. So that was just wonderful. We had a great time. Anyway, let me get on with this. We have now got the spiritual thought. John, that's why you're here.
That's why I'm still here.
That's right.
Welcome, John.
Thank you. Yeah, the flute circle was a lot of fun last night. So ditto to everything that Kim said. So I wanted to start out with am I
Better.
better? Okay, thank you very much. I want to start out with a Rumi quote, and the quote is really short. It's, "Do not seek any rules or method of worship. Say whatever your pained heart chooses." I saw this in a book by Mark Nepo, who wrote the Book of Awakening. And what he's getting at with starting out with that Rumi quote is kind of a provocative way of saying, be your authentic self. He uses the metaphor of the sun for spiritual power. And so, just to make sure, I'm pretty sure about this, but everybody knows that when it's rainy and cloudy, the sun is still up there. This metaphor will work today. So he explains that the sun simply shines, that without will, intent, plan, it shines thoroughly and constantly. And just by being itself, just by being the sun, it warms all with its light, and it never withholds anything from anyone or anything. It simply is. The sun emanates in all directions and all the time, and it causes things to grow. This use of the sun as a metaphor is wonderful. Nepo in this book says that the souls are like little suns, expressing the light of who we are. We emanate our light, expressing our love and our compassion, strengthening all that we contact. We've probably all heard the saying, I think it flows from the Bible in one way or another, to not hide your light under a bushel basket. The idea is that your light is to be revealed, not concealed. and we take the basket off our lantern and shine it forth, we warm others, invite others, and give permission to others to be their authentic selves as well, to let their light shine. Carl Jung says that this authentic inner light is the unconscious influence of one being upon another. Reverend Judy said a couple of weeks ago that our authentic self is a potent gift to one another. So what's happening when we're being authentic? We're letting our light shine. We're truly letting the shine of divine exist and flow forth from us. And we all know that light of divine is because we are all unique expressions of God. This potent gift of support and makes acceptable that all people share of themselves and express what is of their best self. So what the authentic self, what is it? And how do we make it our default kind of way of being? How do we just act out of our authentic self all the time? So this authentic self is not necessarily the first thing that pops out of your mouth. That can be a lot of the early training, the kind of suggestions from parenthood that we have somehow accepted or ingrained in ourselves. What it is that measured and thoughtful self, that part of us that we know is our best self. Our authentic self shines our light, our values, our beliefs, our ethics, our ideas of what is good, and all those things are synonyms for the spirit within. So Nepo addresses how do we actually do this? And he says, he recommends to turn towards what feels real. So to know what our authentic self is to know what feels real within us. I think we all have that voice, or we all have that sense of this is real, this is spirit, we're in conversation, we know what's real. And he says the way to get to that is to really kind of recognize your feelings and just, it's like turning towards the sun where you are feeling what's real for you, feeling that warmth of realness inside you. I think we spend a lot of time trying to justify things or just rattle around in our head instead of tuning in or accepting or listening to what is really real for us going on. Something that I've learned recently that I think is not an authentic self is I've been a long-term, I've thought of it as threading the needle in kind of social things, and but what it really is people pleasing, saying something that's not going to offend people, and sometimes that's really good for negotiation and stuff like that, but it also camouflages my true self. And it's kind of rare that can lead to trouble, but in my life, I think it has, just kind of keeping it all easy to hear, easy to digest, hasn't been my true authentic self, and I have been camouflaged in that part. So being your authentic self just kind of cuts through the denial. It promotes honesty. By being honest, you are asking or giving permission for others to be honest ourselves. And Ernest Holmes says an interesting thing, that if we understand ourselves, then we shall have our happiness or misery in our own hands. So we've got to take that first step to really kind of know ourselves, and then we can figure out what to do with it. When we release what is true for us, we let our light and our warmth influence our lives in positive ways. This opens the door, like I said, to others sharing themselves that way with us. And the kind of flip side of the troublesome things is when we share our joy or peace or happiness with others as part of our authentic self, that really lights it up for them as well and gives them permission to share the happy things that are going on with them. So the point of all this is that being your authentic self is our spiritual power base. The ministers and the practitioners have a one time a month meeting where we talk about a theme, a spiritually related theme that Reverend Sandy here sets up for us to discuss. And a few months ago, we were talking about power. And Reverend Sandy asked me that since I retired a few years ago, what is my sense of my power? And I have to tell you, I was sort of stumped by that because I hadn't really thought of it in terms of that. But what is true for me, and I think true for probably most of us, is that our power base when we are working comes from that work. We're trustworthy, we're effective, we're on time, and maybe prayerful in it. But it's those kind of mostly external things that I, anyway, looked at for my power, source of my power. So that kind of led all that to kind of say, that's why I'm talking about power today, because I kind of wanted to, just see what is it. And I think it is that authentic self, really focusing on being that authentic self. And I like this metaphor for the sun. It is always there. And we can turn to it and reflect on the fact that our inner light, our soul, is like the sun in that it can shine forth. And so to conclude, letting our inner light shine, feeling and sharing what's real, lets out and expresses that divine within. So it is.
Well done, John. Thank you.
Thank you, John. There's a lot of wonderful things to ruminate, to think about, to feel. I love that. All righty. Now, I guess we have some music. You get to be a lot of different things today.
I do, yeah. Someone wanted to trade a day for something I had later in the month to do spiritual thought, and I just thought, let's just try it. Let's just do everything on one day. But I'm going to play a little arrangement that I've made. That I see some flute circle folks here. So this is a combination of the Spanish Gypsy scale and a song that you will probably recognize. So.
like that. I like the Spanish influence too.
Uh-huh.
That's great.
And it's the same scale.
Wow, I want to learn to
Yeah.
play that.
So it's
I've been
called
practicing
moon
for
dance?
about a year or
It's
two.
Moon Dance, a Van Morrison
Van
song.
Morrison's Moon Dance in the middle.
It's loosely based on, it is loosely based on
Thank you.
Moon Dance, yes.
It's a lot of fun. I love Van Morrison too. Great, wonderful. Woo, I feel so good. I feel like dancing now. I don't feel like doing this, Sandy. Sorry. Okay, where am I? What?
You push it away.
Oh, do I? I know, it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to get used to the microphone, still after all these years. Anyway, now our speaker today, Reverend Bob Hand. Let's give him some love.
Okay, well, before I get started, I want to say it's your lucky day because I'm going to give a very short talk. Because then I'm going to be reading a poem that I wrote, and John will be accompanying me on the flute. He wasn't doing enough, so we gave him something extra. And in case I forget, I'm going to go ahead and say it now. Last time I made copies of the poem. Rather than that, I have a sheet back there. If you want to put your name and email, I'll send you a copy. And for those on Zoom, if you go to the iFocus to the ministers list and you push on my name, the email will come up and you can send me a note that says you would like a copy. If you want an autographed copy,
That will cost.
that would, slight fee would be involved in that. So I was going to talk about power today, as John did, but I realized as I thought about it that in our house, Jean has all the power. So it really wasn't much for me to say on that. So instead I'm going to talk about choice. And you know, last month I talked about volition, meaning basically free will. And by the time we got through all of that, I think we all agreed that we have free will and therefore we can make choices. But what choices and how do we make them? Now, we make all kinds of choices in our life. I mean, you might choose to eat candy or kale, or candy kale, if there is such a thing. You might choose to take a long hike or binge watch a Netflix series. Those aren't the choices I'm talking about. I'm talking about spiritual choices. What spiritual choices do we make? Now, by coming here today, choosing to come here, you may have made a spiritual choice. Of course, you may have made a social choice. Maybe you primarily come just to talk to your friends or to hear John's great music. But for those of you who participate with the PLC on an ongoing basis, you're probably making spiritual choices on an ongoing basis. So what is it that we're choosing? Are you coming here to try to choose, you know, what do I want? Can I use the spiritual mind treatment to get a new car, to get a new job? Maybe Barney wants a new guitar. Those are spiritual choices. Do you make that spiritual choice? I want to use the spiritual power to get new friends or to get that special someone in my life. We may use spiritual power. We want to help the world. We want to make it a more kind, a more caring, a more loving world. And you know, in that, Mahatma Gandhi talked about it. And he said, be the change you want to see in the world. Think about that. Be the change. And what he's saying there is, if you want a world that's kinder, more caring, more loving, then we should be kinder, more caring, more loving. That's where it starts. That's where that spiritual aspect of our choices start. Now, that great master teacher, Jesus of Nazareth, said, dealing with spiritual choices and how we get them, he said, when you pray, believe that you already have what you are asking for, and it will be yours. Now, in New Thought, we use that a lot as this positive statement. If you think you already have it. And I mean, what a powerful statement. He's saying anything, ask for it, anything. If you believe you already have it, it's yours. With no conditions. Or maybe one condition. One condition I find very mysterious as I thought through this. You have to believe it's already yours. Think about that. You're going to ask for something, but you have to believe you already have it. How does that make any sense? It reminds me of Zen Buddhism, where if you want to study Zen Buddhism, you have to seek out a teacher, right? You have to seek in your life to have the energy, the commitment, the time to study Zen Buddhism. And in Zen Buddhism, you're trying to reach the Buddha mind, if you will, the term. But one of the aspects of reaching this consciousness of the Buddha mind is that you have to learn not to seek. You have to not be wanting things, seeking. So are these spiritual masters just trying to confuse us? I mean, we have to seek in order to learn not to seek. We have to pray to ask for things, but only if we already believe we have it. How do we deal with this? I think the answer is in another statement. This spiritual teacher, Jesus said, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God." Now, he was using, as they would say, the vernacular of his time frame. He was using the kind of words the people he would speak to would understand, the kingdom of God. But in New Thought, the kingdom of God would be our connection with divine spirit. Seek first our connection with divine spirit. It's telling us this idea of asking for things, for seeking things, isn't really where it's at. First, look for your connection with divine spirit. And I can tell you this too. You could go to ashram in India. You could go to a holy Buddhist temple in Japan. You could go to a holy mountain in the Dakotas. Where are you going to find the connection with divine spirit? It's not out there. There's not some God up there in the sky. There's not some spirits floating around. There is no spiritual entity out there that you're going to connect with. And Reverend Judy told us last time where we find that connection. Inside ourselves. Anywhere you are, that divine connection is inside you. And I tell you, when you make that connection, when you have centered your own soul with that connection in harmony with divine spirit, then you'll also find you don't need to ask for anything else. You don't need to seek something else, because that harmony with divine spirit will bring you everything you need. And I'm going to say this now in what I think is a better way, maybe in the convoluted way I say it, but rather in a more esoteric form, backed by the magic flute of John in this poem. So, John? I walked up the hill and through the trees. I stopped and looked behind. I stretched my back and flexed my knees. I came to seek, but not to find. A mist was climbing up the hill. All it touched turned white. Does it move of its own free will? Does it choose to block my sight? It's hard to know what is real. A song, a star, a thought. It's hard to know what to feel, what's important and what's not. Is silence truly the word divine? In silence, do we really hear the truth that lingers so sublime, that frees us from all fear? I came to seek upon this hill the wisdom of the pines. Will they speak or remain still? Will they share the truth that binds? I turn and walk by a winding creek. It doesn't seem to know if it truly leads to what I seek, or it cares not where it goes. Some clouds appear in the bright blue sky. They mock me when I stare. Are they an omen used to scry? Or is there no message written there? And now the wind starts to blow. It whispers in my ear. It says the things I cannot know, in words I cannot hear. The secret's here, I know it is. It's hidden in the ground. It almost shows, but then resists all efforts to be found. I read the tracks of the fleeing deer, the lines drawn by a snake. Do they speak of love or fear? Do they give or do they take? The path comes to a sudden end. It ends right where it starts. It tells me wisdom must begin in our minds and in our hearts. We look for omens, we look for signs in everything we see, in stars and cards, in our palms' fine lines, to foretell what we will be. But the greatest knowledge lies deep within, in our heart and in our mind, to find where Gnosis truth begins, we must look where we can find. It seems so easy for us to find all we wish to know. Just search within our heart and mind for the truth to feed our soul. But we love our games of hide and seek. We like to play it sly. We like to hide our truth down deep, where all our secrets lie. So be patient and extra calm. Don't scare your truth away. Your heart will sing its sacred psalm when it knows what it wants to say. Take your time, you might just wait. Let your breath come slow. Your heart will open up its gate to let your spirit glow. You'll find your truth shining bright in the center of your soul. You'll see your truth, your strength, your might, and all you seek to know. Now, nature has its own true lore, its tale that you might find. But the sacred truth that will let you soar is in your heart and mind.
Well done,
That
guys.
felt like soul food. Really did feel like soul food. So much good stuff in there, so much wonderful feelings. Great. I guess now I'm going to ask two people who are brave and will make the choice to come up and help me with the offertory, which is basket. We'll do the offertory. Alan, thank you. Judy, thank you. We're going to do the offertory first before you go down the aisle. Alan? I know you're new at this, but I'm really grateful that you came forward. So we're going to say, divine love flowing through me, blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. Now you may go down that aisle. Thank you.
Come on now.
And I want to explain to those who are watching that you aren't new people there, but you can tithe by going into the iFocus, and you can do that here too if you want to do it later. You get an email, and if you haven't given your email to Luana, you get the emails. Is there a sign-up sheet still there? Or?
They're right between the bathrooms.
Okay.
Sing a slip.
If
Fill
you
it
want to
in,
get our
hand it to
emails to know what's happening, at the PLC, give us your email stuff. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And also, the emails will give you the instructions on how you can actually donate to the PLC. It helps us keep the lights on and all the wonderful stuff that we get to do here and here. And you can send a check to the Positive Living Center. That is also online because I can rattle it off for you, but unless you got a pencil and paper. Yeah. All right. So our prayer partner this week is John LaLonde. Your name is all over these sheets. I'm telling you. It's everywhere. And we're grateful for all the work and things that you do. The next week's speaker is, that looks familiar, Reverend Kim Haley. That would be me. I'll be here next week. So now, is there anything else you wanted me to announce? Did I do
The
it?
annual meeting.
The annual meeting is
The 26th,
the 26th.
right after service.
Right after
Okay.
service on the 26th, there will be an annual meeting. It usually runs about an hour,
No more than that.
no more than an hour. So,
28,
28th,
Sunday the 28th.
Oh, it's
Sunday the
28th.
28th, okay. I
Yeah.
don't have,
I had my dates off, sorry.
yeah. you
Nope,
know,
we're
so-
good, we're good.
So on the 28th, right after our Sunday service, then we'll have a meeting here. So it's good if you want to know what's happening and we share information. And if there's any questions, the people can raise them then too. All right, so now let's do the prayer. Oh, you have an announcement. Where is that? Oh, I missed the announcement thing. Okay.
You did fine, I just snuck in
No,
before she
that's
closed
great.
announcements.
Yeah.
Before she closed them. Okay, two things coming up. One is we're gonna do some spring cleaning in the library closet so that we have space for the library to have kind of even more of a welcoming and user-friendly and neat and approachable experience. So, who's we? This is an opportunity to serve. You. Echo, we. So if you would like to and be willing to serve, please reach out to me after service today. Where our plan is to get this done before the 28th, which is our annual meeting. So I would really appreciate your help with that. Also, if anyone knows the sound equipment that we have in the closet that hasn't been used for ages, so that we can know what we can let go of, please step forward. We need that help. So there's that, and that, and that. Okay, that's that project. The other thing I wanted to bring up is class. Thinking about starting a class, basically if you want to know what the class is going to be about, thank you, John, for making the promo of the class. His spiritual thought today basically is the heart and soul of the class, which is opening ourselves up, having that opportunity to share with each other our own spiritual journeys and support each other in those journeys. And so it's a 6-week class. I originally was thinking we'd start on the 20th, but because of this project that we're doing, we'll start it 1st of May. So it'll be in the bulletin, watch for it. More details like what book to buy, etc., will be forthcoming. That's it. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you. See, we have a lot of good stuff coming up, and that's why you want to put your email on that sheet that's in between the 2 bathrooms there, if you'd like to know. So, any other announcements? Okay. Did I have an announcement? No. I'm looking at Sandy. Do you have any more? Okay. So let's do the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. The energy of God is me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Yes. Nice way to start a new week. Nice to see everybody. All right, now we'll have another song by John, and then the closing prayer will be Sandy West.
This is another song that I wrote that I actually played it here. I keep track on the back of these sheets. I over 15 months ago. So I figure, it can ride again because it's still relevant. It's called Cheerful. And let me just acknowledge that this song has a chance of creating an earworm, that kind of thing that gets in your head and just sticks with you for a while. My poor wife, who has heard this, 25 to 50 times in the last couple of weeks, was trying to get rid of this earworm, but here we go. Cheerful.
Oh, John and Bob, that was so awesome. You know, you guys have done a number of them over the years, and you ought to record them and put them on YouTube or something, because the world needs to hear them. They're really so spiritual and so inviting, and they draw you in, open your heart, and it's really an expansive place to be sitting there and listening to you guys. Thank you both. Thank you. There is only God, and knowing this, I know that we all go forward sharing this, spreading this idea and this knowing, doing it with open hearts and a smile on our face. For the world needs us and our divinity and our well-being. Go forth and share it. Smile, look people in the eyes. It's a beautiful world out there. And today it was so full of the beauty of snow and all different wonderful things. The flakes on my windshield as I drove in. Share that with the world, the feeling that it brings, the heart that it brings, and know that all is well. And say with me, please, and so it is. Thank you.
Have a great week, and hope to see you back here next week. We love seeing your faces.
I like that.